I'm going to be talking about my national development plan. I spoke with a friend and we were chatting. So, as we were chatting, the discussion led to national development plan. So, I decided to talk about my national development plan for Nigeria in 20 years to come. Some of the events that are happening in Nigeria today, I saw them coming. So I hate to be the guy that always say that I predicted it. I saw it before it happened. So when you see things before they happen, what does that make you? I have no idea. Maybe I'm a prophet. In Lagos during the COVID 19 era, the government of Lagos they were making moves to set up food banks. Why were they making moves to set up food banks? It was simple. There were food shortages, and COVID 19 has made people stay in their homes without their capacity to earn incomes, and they needed to eat. Economists they have a word for that. It's called autonomous consumption. When the economists talk about autonomous consumption, economists say autonomous consumption is equals to zero. Now, autonomous consumption simply means that you have people in the household that do not earn income. Your dependents, your kids, your children, their consumption is called autonomous consumption because they do not earn, but they must eat. So, with the COVID 19, the government of Nigeria had a challenge to deal with, and it was called autonomous consumption. Now, in the household, it is the people that earn income that have the capacity to feed people with autonomous consumption. With COVID-19 era, with COVID-19 pandemic, you were having parents, you were having people that were caregivers. They could not go out. They were locked indoors. So the capacity to earn was also zero in line with their kids or dependents, autonomous consumption. So how do you feed them? Government in Lagos came up with food bank. In my national development plan, I wrote about food bank about 3 years or 4 years ago on my laptop. Now, I've always been saying this that it is better to be proactive than to be reactive because they say experience is the best teacher, but the school fees is too expensive. A wise man is the guy that does not make his own mistake. A wise guy is the guy that learns from the mistakes of others and he decides not to make or repeat their own mistakes. So he becomes wise. In one of my oral arguments, I gave the secret about the wealth of nations, and I called it wealth of nations are linked to production. That's what great economists say is the secret of the wealth of nations. A nation must be, if a nation wants to be wealthy, that nation must be interested in producing what it's consuming. If a nation is interested in wealthy, being wealthy, that nation must be interested in consuming what it's producing. I didn't say it. It's the economists that said it. So in my national development plan, I came up with four cardinal areas, four cardinal points. One is manufacturing. So you can say manufacturing, industrialization, or factories. That's number one. Number two is agriculture. Number three is the service industry. When I say service industry, I'm talking about those invincible incomes you make from telecoms operators, those incomes you make from e-commerce, those income you make from e-business that are powered by fintech. That is a very, very serious area in digital economy. It powers the digital economy of nations. Then the last one is to focus on development or engagement of our human resources. So I've talked about four things: development or engagement of our human resources. When I talk about human resources, I'm talking about the youths. See, the youths in Nigeria, engaging them positively. The youths in Nigeria, when I say engaging them positively, I'm saying that they should not be idle. The protests we had that led to the loss of lives and properties in Nigeria, that is the main reason why what happened. You have teeming population of youth that are less busy. They are basically idle. They are not doing anything. They are willing, they have the capacity to work, but they can't work. Four things. That's number one. Number two, manufacturing, industrialization, and factories. The third one is agriculture. Then the last one is the service industry. Whether we like it or not, unemployment is going to be a very critical economic indicator. The last time the National Bureau of Statistics came up with the unemployment figures, they said it was 23.1%. That is very, very high. The figures mirrors the sad predicament our young people are going through, because the implication of that figure is that in Nigeria, the number of people unemployed outnumbers the available slot for jobs. So you are indirectly saying you have people that are willing, they have strength, they have energy, they have the ability to work, but they can't seem to find a job to earn a living. So for the youths, it's two options, just like the chairman of Highway. The chairman of Highway said his options is either to swim or sink. For the youths in Nigeria, the options is just two. It's either they earn a honest keep or they become kidnappers. It's either they earn a honest keep or they become looters, as we saw during the COVID-19 era, propelled by the NSAS protests. So if you are not earning a honest keep, you can't stay hungry. You must eat. So the kids will engage in destructive activities to put money in their pocket to make sure they can eat to survive. The reality of this fact has really made undergraduates in Nigerian universities, polytechnics, colleges of education to have a rethink. If one is a student in school and he or she will be graduating in an academic session, he or she needs to be proactive and come up with a backup plan. Because when you have a system in Nigeria that is producing more graduates faster than the federal government and state government capacity to absorb them, you have to give yourself brain. So they have to think outside the box. Your destiny is in your own hands. If the challenge is that in Nigeria we do not have a database that records some of these numbers. If in Nigeria we can ask all the universities, all the polytechnics, all the colleges of education to come up with the numbers of graduates they are pouring out every academic session, it will blow our minds. So the unemployment pool becomes the focus. How do you tackle or reduce the unemployment stat to a normal level? Economists say that an economy that is stable, an economy that is healthy, is supposed to have a one-digit unemployment statistics. So it is supposed to be like maybe 3%. It is supposed to be like 5%, 6%, 7%, 8%, 9%. One digit. It's not supposed to be double digit. If it's double digit, you have problems. Your economy is unstable. If it's double digit, your economy is not healthy. So today in Nigeria, there is no encouragement for a political science undergraduate because he or she, when she graduates, there is no job for him in the Nigerian government. You won't get a job in federal government as a political science student. You won't get a job in state government as a public administration student. That is why in Nigeria today you see lots of people. They are willing to work. They have the capacity to work. They are able to work. Some of them are taxi drivers. I've seen a master's degree holder drive a truck. I've seen a master's degree holder drive Uber. All these guys are interested in doing is earning a honest keep and to make ends meet after staying idle for long periods of time. So the same thing applies to a chemical engineering graduate, a structural engineering graduate, a graduate of geology, a microbiology graduate. These guys, some of them are beginning to get the memo that there are no available jobs for them. So that is why in my national development plan, engaging Nigeria's human resources is one of the critical pillars. Engaging Nigeria's human resources is one of the cardinal points of my national development plan. See, these kids are idle. That's why they're causing problems for us. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There is no fantastic national economic policy that Nigeria will come up with without incorporating our youth. If they do not incorporate our youth, it is bound to fail. Because banditry, kidnapping, insecurity are being powered or motivated by these same youths. Because they have decided that since we can't earn a honest keep, we are going to engage in destructive activities since we cannot engage in productive activities to earn a honest keep. It's that simple. So